Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make another piece of pixel art. This time, it's going to be an 8-bit version of Wolverine. This is going to be a remake. I've made this before, however, the original version doesn't have any commentary and is pretty difficult to follow. I've had several requests in the form of private messages, and I believe that some of you guys have left comments on the video to remake him. More than happy to do so. I love the 8-bit pixel art, so if you want to make him, here's what you're going to need. You're going to need black, dark grey, white, dark blue, yellow, red, sandstone block, and finally, block of gold. So once you've got all of your colours and once you've figured out where you want to make it, I'm going to be making it right here. You're going to want to start out with a row of 9 black wool in a row on the floor. That's 9 black wool. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And once you've done your row of 9 black wool, that's going to be the bottom of his left foot. You're going to want to start on top of the first block that you should have placed, this left one right here. You're going to want to place a single black block up on top of it. You're then going to want to do an upright diagonal from that block. Then from the block that you've just placed, you're going to want to place a block going right, then a block going up, then right, and then you're going to want to go 3 up from that block that you went right with. So 1, 2, 3 to give you something which should look like that. Pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, you're going to want to come back to here where we have this row of 4, and you're going to want to, from the right of the second block going up, this block right here, you're going to want to place a black block. Then from there, you want to do an upright diagonal from that block. Then from the block that you've just done an upright diagonal with, you're going to want to go up by 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then, from the top block that you've just placed, you just want to place a block going left to give you that. What you then want to do, next to this row that you've just formed here, is again, second block going up to the right of it, you're going to want to do a row of 5 just going straight up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you don't feel like counting, you just have to surpass the row on the left by 1 to give you something which should look like that. And overall, something which should look like that. Pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, we can continue on. So, you're going to want to come back down to here, this block right here, and you're going to want to do an up left diagonal from that block. You're then, from that block, going to want to do an up right diagonal, and then go up by 2 from the diagonal to give you this. Once you've done that, you're going to want to come back over to this little single block here. From that block all by its lonesome, you're going to want to place an up left diagonal. And then 3 on top. 1, 2, 3. You're then going to want to do an up right diagonal. Place 1 on top. Then want to do 2 upright diagonals. 1, 2. On top of the second diagonal, place a block on top. Then, do another upright diagonal. Place 1 on top. Then, you're going to want to do another upright diagonal, place 1 block going right. And let me just show you what you should have done there, since we've done a few blocks. You're going to want to have something which should look like that. So, once you've done that, you're going to want to come all the way back up to here, and you're going to want to, from this block that you just went right with, these 2 blocks here, you're going to want to do 4 bottom right diagonals from this right block. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to want to go right by 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You're then going to want to do 3 upright diagonals. So 1, 2, 3. Let me just show you what that should look like. The reason that I'm stopping there is we have the under part of his face, and what we're going to do now is we're going to make the other bottom half of Wolverine, and we're going to have it join up. So then we can just do the top of his mask, and then we can colour him in. It's how I like to operate. I like to join things in the middle to make sure we've done them right. So once you have done that, pause that if necessary. You're going to want to come down to where it all began, this row of 9 here. And from the right hand side this time, this most right block, you're going to want to go up by 2 with your black. 1, 2. You're then going to want to do 2 upright diagonals, so 1 and 2. You then want to do 2 bottom right diagonals, 1, 2. You then want to go down until you hit the floor, like so. From that ground block, you're going to want to go right by 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let me just show you what we have. You're going to want to have something which should look like that, and you're going to see a lot of similarities between this side and the other side. They are virtually identical until we reach the top of the face. So pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, we're going to continue on. So coming over to the end of the foot, so right here, and as I said, we're pretty much going to be copying what we have over on that side. So here, you're just going to want to go up 1. You then want to do an up left diagonal, then left 1, up 1, left 1. You're then going to want to go up by 3, 1, 2, 3. You'll then, from the second block going up, going to want to place a black going left, like so. So you're going to want to have that. Is this seeming familiar? It should. Pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, we're going to do that little weird shape like we have over there. So from this block that we went outwards from, you're going to want to do an up left diagonal from there. Then going to want to place 4 on top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then from the top block, place a block going right. Then you're going to want to, next to what you've just made here, you're going to want to do a row of 5 starting from the second block going up. So I'm not even going to count that out because obviously it's just 1 higher than what we've just done. And if you've done that right, you should note that it should connect to Wolverine's chin. You might not recognize it as his chin right now, but trust me when I tell you that's his chin. So it's going to want to look a little something like that. And just so that you can see, it is pretty much exactly what we have over on that side there. So once you have done that, and again that's another view just in case you wanted to pause it, once you've done that, pause that if necessary, we can continue on. And as I said, we're pretty much going to be doing what we have over there. So coming over to here, you're going to want to start from this block right here and do an upright diagonal, then an up left diagonal. From that up left, you're just going to want to go up 2 on top of it with your black, like that. And that's going to form Wolverine's middle claw right here. Then, once you've done that, you're going to want to come back to this single block all by its lonesome, do an upright diagonal, then place 3 on top, 1, 2, 3. You then want to do an upper left diagonal, place 1 on top. You then want to do an upper left diagonal, all by itself. Then, from the single diagonal, I should have said do 2 up left diagonals, but I didn't, I apologise. You want to do another up left diagonal, then place 1 on top. And then, finally, you want to do an up left diagonal, and then place, you know what, as a matter of fact, I'll show you how that all connects together first. So that's how the right side all connects together, like that. Since I was a bit sketchy on the instructions, that's how it all wants to connect. You can see that it connects all the way back up to the face. It's almost as if I designed it that way. Pause that if necessary. Alright, so pause that if necessary, and once you've done that, we can get to work on the rest of the head. So we're going to want to continue on from where we left off, so on this right side here, literally on top of the last block that we've just placed, this one right here, not this top one, the one to the bottom right of it, on top of this block, you want to go up by 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then, from that 9th block, you're going to want to do an up left diagonal. You're then going to want to do 2 bottom left diagonals, so 1, 2. You then want to do 2 bottom right diagonals, so 1 and 2. And that should connect things back together with the row that you should have just made. So you're going to want to have something which should look like that. And once you've done that, you're going to want to continue on from where we left off, so this block right here. You're going to want to do 2 bottom left diagonals from that block, so 1 and 2. And then from that second block that you've just done a bottom left diagonal, if you want to make this shape, it's a bit of a weird shape, so I'm just going to make it. You place 1 underneath, go left 2, then up 1, and then underneath the 3 middle blocks, you just place a block underneath it to give you kind of like a Y shape. not kind of like a Y shape, I suppose that is a Y shape. And altogether, you want to have something which should look like that. Pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, we're going to make the other half of the head. As I said earlier, I like to do half of something and then start from the other side, connect it in the middle, make sure we've done it right. So coming back over to the left side of our statue here, the top of the left side where we have these two blocks right here, the top of the shoulder. On top of the left block, you're going to want to go up by 2, with your black of course. So 1, 2. You're then going to want to do an up left diagonal, and then go up by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You then want to do an upper right diagonal. From that diagonal, you're going to want to do 4 bottom right diagonals. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to want to place a block to the right of that last diagonal. Then you're going to want to do another bottom right diagonal and place one going right, and that should connect everything back together to give you something. Well, I'll show you the left side that you should have made. So that's what you want for the entire left side of the head. Pause that if necessary, and let me show you what you want so far. Now, there is only one line missing from this, so of course, pause that if necessary, make sure you've got that right. So once you have done that, we've just got to add one more line in, and we can do it from the left side, it doesn't really matter. So, starting from the top here, you want to be on the third block going down, so if you count that as the first, second, third, I suppose that's the second block going down. Third. You want to be, from this block, you want to do an upright diagonal, and then you just want to keep going right from that diagonal until you hit the other side of the head diagonally to give you something which should look like that. And overall, this is what you want to have. And so I was just staring at my plans, figuring out how we're going to get this coloured in, and it turns out that I may have forgot a teensy detail. Wolverine needs a mouth. So you're going to want to come back over to his head, and from this block right here, the block that I'm floating over, you're going to want to do an up left diagonal, and then go left by 3. 1, 2, 3. And that is Wolverine's mouth. Those 4 blocks, I kind of forgot about them. I was just staring at what we've done's face, and it was like, there's something missing. The mouth, of course. I didn't realise Wolverine turned into a mute. Well, now he can talk again. So that is Wolverine's entire outline. Pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, we can get to work on colouring it in. Alright, so this is how colouring in is going to work, and I'm going to explain this whilst I add in the first colour. So the first colour is going to be white. I'm going to add in all of one colour at once. I'm going to be showing you the process of me doing it, just like I am now, except I'm not going to try and explain what I'm doing with that colour, I'm just going to be adding it in. The reason being is there's only really a couple of ways I can show you how to add in the colour. This is the first way, and this is the most dull way. I can literally do this. You want to come up to the head, and you want to put white here, here, and here, and then I can zoom out and show you. That will add an extra 5 hours onto this tutorial. Or, I can do it how I'm doing it now, add in all of the colour, I can then zoom out, and then show you where all of the colour is. One is significantly easier to do, and here's why this will work. As you can see, I've picked white for a reason. All of the white sits next to the outline. It should be extremely easy for you to see where all of the white goes just by looking at it. Once you've added all of the white in, the next colour becomes easier. And then once the next colour is added in, the next colour becomes easier, so on and so forth, until we finish. There's not too many colours, it's like 5 or 6. So that is all of the white in Wolverine. Pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, we're going to add in sandstone. There's not very much sandstone either, so we have a little bit of sandstone on the arms, and we have a finite amount of sandstone on the face. So let me just add in all of the sandstone, and as you can see, there's even less sandstone than there is white wool, and that's all of it. That's all of it in the pixel art. Once you've done that, pause that if necessary, we're going to be working on dark grey. So the first large concentration of dark grey is in the mask. So surrounding the white wool and sandstone that we have in the head section, it just wants to be filled in entirely with dark grey. Now there is one section of the head which you don't want to touch with dark grey, which is this little middle section here. However, the pointy bits, these bits right here, want to be dark grey. We also have a bit of dark grey on the torso, which leads into Wolverine's belt, and we also have some for the feet as well, which will also be missing blocks, which will also be extremely easy for you to add in. It's all next to the outline. The torso isn't exactly. No, it's still next to the outline. Never mind. I apologise. So let me show you the bottom section of dark grey first. This is the bottom concentration of the dark grey. As you can see, it sits mainly next to the outline. Very simple. Pause that if necessary. Let me show you the head with the dark grey in. Very easy, just colouring in little sections, don't even really have to think about it. Pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, it's time to add in the next colour. So our next colour is going to be, well, it's two colours. It's going to be black and red. We've only got a little bit of black and red in this pixel art, so, well, I mean, if you exclude the outline. There's a lot of black in the outline, but other than that. So, the only black and red that is actually used for colouring is just for the belt, and you can see it's this little X belt. It sits right next to the dark grey that you've just placed. Very easy. Pause that if necessary. Now, we add in the gold. So, take out your gold wool. You're going to want to add in gold here, and here, the same on the other side as well. This is ever so slightly harder to place since we don't have the surrounding blocks of gold, but it's not very much, and it doesn't take much figuring out either, so kind of like a star pattern really for the gold. That's all of the gold that exists in the pixel art. Pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, we add in the yellow. So the yellow is a similar sort of story. It would be easier for us if we had another colour in here, but you've got to deal. So let me add in the yellow. The yellow sits mainly next to the gold anyway, so it's not too difficult to place. We also have a little bit in the arms as well. Oops. Placed the block there for no reason. Had to destroy that, but you guys will see that. I'll actually show you. I'll show you both sections again, like I did for the grey, because we've got a little bit of yellow up here as well in the head. Everywhere in the head that's not already filled in just needs to be filled in with yellow. So let me show you the head first of all. As you can see, that's the head entirely done now. Pause that if necessary. And now let me just show you the lower body. Yellow will probably be the hardest colour that you've had to add in yet. Probably the hardest for you to figure out, but still not difficult. Still not difficult, it should be pretty easy. The two squares, pretty easy to place. The yellow in the upper chest sits right next to the gold, and the yellow on the bottom sits next to the gold as well, so that's all of the yellow. Pause that if necessary. Once you've done that, if you've made it this far, we've only got one more colour to add in, which is dark blue, so everywhere else, every single other space in this pixel art just wants to be filled in with dark blue. And once you've done that, you've filled the entire thing in, so let me see here. Literally everywhere. You don't have to be careful with the dark blue, you just place it. So I hope you understand why I've chosen to coloring it in like this. Colouring it in like this. What am I saying? Why I've chosen to colour it in like this. It's the easiest way for me to do it, quite honestly. Like otherwise, as I said, I'd just be like, here you go, add in the blue here, zoom out, pause, add it in here, zoom out, pause. Nah, there's no way. So that is Wolverine entirely done. I imagine that some of you would have had a very easy time me just showing you this, a nice close-up of Wolverine, and you guys would have been able to figure out how to colour him in from here, but, you know, different capability levels, that sounds really demeaning. different skill levels, that's the word I'm looking for. Different skill levels with my subscribers. I don't discriminate against any of you. That is Wolverine entirely. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope it was easy enough to follow. I really do. I hope that the colouring in was easy enough to understand. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, maybe you should think about subscribing. I have plenty more stuff like this on my channel. I have tutorials ranging from YouTube statues, skin statues, houses, pixel art, the list goes on. Thanks for watching.